Alrighty guys, we're back for some simple soldiers, and this is a Wilds of Eldraine Standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do get that Discord link as well as that Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? I called it Simple Soldiers for a reason. Not going to take too long to go over a lot of these cards because we see them all the time. Got 4 Yotian Frontliners, just a terrific 1-drop, huh? Speaking of terrific 1-drops, all 4 Recruitment Officers is going to go a long way too. Got a single Elspeth Smite. This could totally be your removal of choice. The reason I picked Elspeth Smite was to have an easier time against certain mono-red matches. All 4 Thalias, taxing our opponent way more than it taxes us. All 4 Valiant Veterans, buffing that nice wide board state. Got a couple Protect the Negotiators to counter Atraxa. That's really the main reason it's in here, but this is a 2-mana instant speed, kicker cost of 1 white. If it was kicked, you create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Then counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each creature you control. Actually a really neat counter spell, huh? Rocking 3 Dennicks in here. A 2-mana, 2/3 lifelink. We see Dennick all the time, but we actually see it outside of soldier builds. We usually see Dennick in Esper Legends, right? So cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities. And if you ever disturb this out for 4, it's also a soldier, which is pretty neat. It's a 3/2 flying in the air then too. So yeah, Dennick's kind of a menace, dude. I'll tell you what. It's just like really solid. And speaking of those mono red matches too, right? We got 3 Harbins in here, same concept, man, buffing that wide board state, but a 2-mana, 3, sorry, almost said 2/3. This is important, dude. 2-mana, 3/2 flyer is kind of just ridiculous, dude. 3 drops, so we got a couple Brutal Cathars for more removal. We got 4 Siege Veterans in here to just keep buffing our soldiers. We got 4 Skystrike Officers to keep our hand nice and stocked and help us go wide. And then we have a single Myrel on the top end to help us go wide as well and stop a bunch of opponent strategies too. Rocking like all the dual land between the Wastes, the Beachhead, and the Secluded Courtyard. Of course, calling soldier when you drop it. Got the Soaring City, the Seat of the Empire, leaning towards the white mana because that's what the deck is leaning towards. No honorable mentions today. We've seen soldiers plenty of times. We can go ahead and imagine what we could trade out in here. Bunch of different ways to put soldiers together, I can imagine, but usually it leans somewhere around this, right? Either way, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. That literally might have been the fastest I've ever gone over a deck. I'll tell you what, man. I mean, it's like I said, I called it Simple Soldiers for a reason. We see this all the time. And there's nothing to really go over that the games won't go over for us, you know what I mean? Ooh, great hand. Oh, yeah. Opponent goes first, unfortunately, but that's fine. This is a terrific hand. Oh, there's the mono red that I was worried about. But Dennick's going to be huge against that. Secluded Courtyard. Well, I'll wait to play that. But now we can successfully play Dennick without pinging our face with the pain damage from the Wastes, so that's not bad. Bloodthirsty Adversary has a 3/3 swinging on in, no blocks. Dennick can't even successfully block that well, but it does block Commando, so maybe it will eat up a Lightning Strike, which is a Lightning Strike that's not hitting our face, so... Soldier, Dennick. We should probably swing. There's a good chance that we can outpace this, especially with that Valiant Veteran in hand. And the Harbin, for that matter. And then we don't need any more land for the rest of the game, so any land draws off the top would be terrible. Any creature draws, terrific. Especially a 1-drop at this point. At this point in the game. Ooh, oh, okay. I was going to say that's such a good block for us. Take 7 down to 9. We're in trouble. I don't want to block with Dennick. Yeah. Like, we would have prevented 3 and gained 2, but... Yeah, more land. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well... the swing could be dangerous because we could die next turn. But like, veteran buff, Dennick up to a 3/4. If we keep the 3/4 back, we still have to worry about Godric flying in. If we swing with Officer, we probably cheese the 3 through. And if we let Dennick be a 3/4, they might have removal for it. They very well might. Let's keep Emergency Blocker Recruitment Officer back. Swing with the Dennick, go back up to 12. How do we feel about that? I think at least we gained the life, so now if they do find removal that hits the Dennick, which is actually a lot of different things, right? Okay, play with fire. Phoenix check. That's 1. Is Godric gonna power up? It is gonna power up. That's a lot of air power, dude. Let's take the Commando out of the equation. Oh man, that's big, big damage from mono red. You guys could see why I was worried about it. Brutal Cathar, nice. That would have been much better last turn, right? Well, maybe not. The buff on the Dennick was still pretty good. So if we go Cathar, take Godric. Yeah, no, we're still just in trouble, aren't we? I mean, it is the Godric grab though, right? Although they only have 1 card in hand. And then we still have the chump on the ground. Actually, we might double block Adversary. If they let us keep Dennick, then at least we keep the lifelink. And if they get Godric back, well, no. Yeah, they wouldn't be swinging with it that turn. Okay, no blocks. We're at 3. It could easily just be a lightning strike from the opponent's hand, which is why I was considering the swing that turn too. Woohoo! Rampaging Raptor. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That is sick. All right, let's double block the Raptor. We're taking 5, going back up to 0 after the fact. GG opponent. I like to see the Raptor, dude. I really like to see the Raptor being played. We drew a lot of land, but even if we didn't, like, we would have needed to see more 1-drops probably at that point, right? Probably. Dennick was a really good card to see against mono red though. Outside of that, we just have like our 1 of Elspeth Smite that could have done a thing to at the very least get that 3/3 Bloodthirsty Adversary off the board, right? But just being a 1 of, like, yeah, you can't expect to see it. The Brutal Cathar was a really good draw for us too. Yeah, overall, I guess it could have gone either way, but man, mono red really knows how to slam that damage through. Oh, if we would have went first too, I think maybe. But at the same time, maybe not. That was a sick lineup, and that Raptor play was awesome. I'll tell you what, man, a 4/4 hasty trample is no joke. I wonder if they have that as like a 2 of on the top end. I could totally see that. Oh, another good hand. Opponent goes first. Oh, no. Oh, no, this is what I get for being worried about mono red. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's not much better, I guess. Yeah, they can run away with that pretty fast then. Frontliner for the turn? Over Officer? I'm okay with that. Less damage from the wastes. And maybe we just go into Harbin next turn so we can start flying in the air. Weaver of Harmony. Okay, no blocks. We'll take the 2. Frontliner. Okay. We could go... Well, we're going to play the island. We know that for sure. We go Veteran, we could swing. Weaver's a problem because we know they can start picking multiple cards up at the same time. Maybe just like going wide here. Yeah, we're going to have to pay the 1 from the wastes either way. We have Deserted Beach next turn. Things are fine. Things are fine. We do have potential double blocks if we need to, but right now we're just trying to set up the board state, I think. And the closer we can get to like Harbin's 5 soldiers to fly in the air. Okay, Calyx. At least it's not removal, but yeah, that's a big old chunky creature. Yeah, they wouldn't want that trade into Weaver. So we could chump. It doesn't have trample. And we might want to before they give it trample with like Audacity or something. Tough decisions, guys. But I do think we want to chump. Just based on their board state right now. Okay, 3rd mana. Myrel will get to come down soon, but hopefully it's still going to get to do a thing. Harbin could be a nice little surprise. That's our 3rd soldier. We'll buff this. Unfortunately, Visitor will keep getting these above. And the 3/3 blocks the frontliner. Ooh. Yeah, this isn't lining up very nicely. Wonder if there was already a better order to play these out. I think, again, we hold off. We attempt another chump off the frontliner, hopefully. And when we get the Myrel down, hopefully this helps us go wide enough to get that Harbin explosive damage. Oh, another Visitor. Oh my goodness, dude, we're in trouble. Okay, Michigo's Right of Truth. At least it's not an Audacity, right? Audacity giving trample. And then getting that copy effect off of the Calyx, too. Speaking of which, it is when Calyx slams through or an enchanted creature. So Calyx is probably the chump for the turn, and we probably should chump it, right? Oh no, guys. We've been on the defense for these first 2 games. Taken 11. We don't want them to duplicate the Reign of Truth, I would say, because then next turn it gets even more dangerous. Oh, tough decisions, but I think this is heavily leaning towards the opponent, so... Woo! Brutal Cathar! Oh. I wonder if we still play Soaring City as the 4th, or if we save it for now then. I think maybe we'll save that. We should pick up the Calyx, right? There's no guarantee that this Cathar's even gonna remain, but I think it's Calyx. Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. A lot of tough puzzles these first 2 opponents are giving us. So if we play this now and we draw our 5th mana, is there anything crazy we could do? Yes, we'd be able to play both frontliners. No, and Harbin is only 4. Okay, I'll still play it, just in case there's something I'm missing, right? We need to keep all the blockers back just in case they play removal. An Ossification Weaver, pick up 2 creatures would be devastating. Spreading out the damage with the Reign of Truth. Luckily, it was only +2 because, yeah, no Calyx out there, it would have been a +3. There's the Audacity. Probably just, like, put it all onto the trampling creature, right? Yeah, it's a 9/7. Oh, crap. Yeah, since we're at 6... Where do we block? Where do we block? Are we dead? Because these are 4 getting through. So if we chump one of those, and we'll take 7 over there. We go 5, that's 9. All right. Yeah. Good game. I think that's the most effective block. Dang, dude. Yeah, Selesnya enchantments can be super explosive. Well, meta versus meta, it's only fair. It's only fair, man. Of course, I still very much believe in our soldier build, so let's keep the ball rolling. See what we can get done. And I don't think it necessarily is going to come down to just going first, right? I don't think so. I think things maybe could have lined up better, but also maybe there is a better order to play those out as well. Just a slightly different order. Well, we had a couple tough decisions on, like, do we block now or do we try to be the aggressors rather than defending? But overall, those decisions... Ooh, no blue source. Okay. Well, got a lot of dual lands in here, man. We finally go first. We should mulligan, right? We should probably mulligan. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. turn 1 Officer, probably turn 2 Thalia. We keep both land in hand, and we're going first here. What do you guys think? Send the Smite? If we were going second again, I would anticipate more aggro from the opponent, so the Smite would be really good. But right now, it looks like we might actually get to do the aggro deck thing, so go ahead and reveal that Officer, get that down. All right, this is the one, guys. I'm feeling good. The mulligan was so worth it. This hand is so much better, even with one less card. Planes from the opponent. Just hold off on the wastes for now. And we're definitely going to get that Thalia down. Soldier. Before combat, because you never know. It could be a Smite from them. And that cost 2 mana now instead. Which we have been seeing a more Elspeth Smite being played, which is awesome. 2 mana. Probably Siege Veteran, and Thalia already has a huge target on its back regardless, so we're just going to plug that counter onto the Officer. And the full swing, if it is a Elspeth Smite, then they pay 2, get rid of that Thalia, and they're feeling pretty good about that. So do we hold Thalia back? Probably not. We can't play around a ghost that might not be there. Oh, okay. I wonder if they double block that Recruitment Officer. Well, the first strike should hit these no problem, right? I was double guessing what was going to happen there based on that double block. I was thinking, wait a minute, does the first strike only hit one? But no, yeah, it does take care of them both, so that just happens to be all right blocks for us. Skystrike Officer is pretty good if we start swinging with that, but is it just like Siege Veteran again? Because you saw how they had to target the Veteran there. Again, Thalia has a huge target on its back already. Let's just buff up that Officer. Down to 9. Opponent would love a board wipe right about now. But the only one I can think of that would... Ooh, tap land. Well, now I can't think of anything that would land with this Thalia on the board. I was going to say the Path of Peril or whatever. Get a 1/1. So we got to keep the Thalia around. Probably going to be a Skystrike Officer. They drop us the GGs. Just going to spread this out again. Just because of how spot removal is. And then Skystrike Officer. Yeah, GG opponent, GG. I mean, we were still like... like, you never know, man. They dropped their 5th mana. It could have been like a Depopulate. We have not seen a whole lot of Depopulate. People heavily lean towards Sunfall. And while Thalia is just chilling on this board, Sunfall's a 6 mana card. You know what I mean? Other than that, taxing both Go for the Throats, making that 3 mana is disgusting. So keeping that Thalia around was huge for us. Nice. Easy peasy, right? Thalia's, like, yeah, soldiers just playing themselves there is essentially how that ended up working out. Now we just need to see more aggressive decks from the opponent so we can showcase that we can actually be more aggressive than them as well. That game would have been a great one to see the Valiant Veteran too, because we were actually able to swing in, keep creatures on the board. All that stuff is super important. Opponent goes first. All right, we'll give this a shot. At least we have Cathar in our opener as well, because there's not too much removal in this deck. We're just heavily leaning towards getting creatures down, swinging as soon as possible. So when they go first, it is nice to see one of those pieces. Unless we see a 1-drop, obviously, I think starting with Deserted Beach will be a safe option. And waiting on the wastes. Yeah, because you never know when that pain damage is going to do you in. Oh no! Opponent had to mulligan down to 5, guys. Ooh, Cacophony Scamp. That's actually really good against Thalia, so that could be a problem. All right, Deserted Beach coming down safely. And it should probably be turn to Thalia over the Veteran, right? Veteran's always better as like a little surprise after you have some soldiers on the board. We already have our 3 mana for either Cathar or Officer, and Protect the Negotiators might come in handy this game too, depending on like what style of Gruul they're playing. With the Scamp, I'm imagining it's like the Thrill Seeker style where they're chucking stuff at our face, right? So you never know. Monstrous Rage. I wonder if they're gonna sack it right now. Oh crap, dude. What a hand. Opponent, dude. Yeah, they're gonna sack it now. That's so much damage. Actually, I mean, yeah, this is their turn too. 14 damage on turn. Oh, they didn't sack it. I guess they did want to keep it. I guess that does make sense too, but like, I don't know how greedy I would have gotten there. I feel like I would have sacrificed it because, oh my goodness, is that fun? You know what I mean? Okay, soldiers. Get that Thalia down. Thalia's pretty gross against a deck like this. Like, if that Monstrous Rage was 2 and if that Giant Growth was 2, that would have been a much different turn. Yeah, if they would have sacrificed Scamp, it comes down to what's in their hand too, for sure. See, the block here works out because they still get to ping Thalia for 2 anyways, so... Another Courtyard, huh? I guess I'll just, like, sit on that and just play the island instead. Quite safely. Of course, with the Thalia down, the Protect the Negotiators is a bit more expensive. Now that we have 3, we could go, we could pick up the Scamp and hope they don't have a Play with Fire. Either way, the monster aura goes bye-bye, right? So, I guess it's Brutal Cathar. Just based on how little they have over there, you know what I mean? With only 1 card in hand, the mulligan down to 5 was pretty brutal, man. That's pretty brutal stuff. Smite, and that's that. GG opponent. It's too bad. I would have really loved to see the rest of the opponent's build, or just like I'd love to play that opponent again. You know what I mean? With a full 7 card setup. The Giant Growth. Sometimes, guys, sometimes there's like there's specific decks, and I brought this up in the past when I think maybe one of the last 2 times I played mono green, where I talked about like, hey, if we had a couple Giant Growths in here, we would have like won that. And so you never know when this card could come in handy, but in a deck like this with Cacophony Scamp, very, very nice. Very cool opponent. Yeah, we had that Thalia established. We drew that Elspeth Smite, but it being only 2 mana was still totally fine. And this Smite would have been really good against that Cacophony Scamp too, so. Only 23 minutes in, guys. We're still going. It's because I didn't take 10 minutes rambling about the build too, right? So, yeah, there's nothing really special here. We're just playing some soldiers. Oh, I think I forgot to even bring up like why I chose soldiers. With the with the new set coming out, I just feel like it's one of those decks that's not going to change too much at all once the new set drops. Although I could be wrong. I haven't seen all the cards yet. The hands have been terrific overall, man. Like, really, really good. We'll get the white source down to have the Smite open just in case it's a Phoenix check. Or Swift Spear. Nice. That worked out. I think we pick up Swift Spear while we can. 1 mana card for a very good 1 mana card, so I think it works. Another Veteran, not bad. Alright, I'll call Soldier and get that Dennick down. Ow, my face. Siege Veteran onto Dennick is going to be so brutal, dude. They really want to Lightning Strike this. Or keep Lightning Strike open for after we target the Dennick with the Veteran. Spell Spear, nice. I guess the white source, and then Siege Veteran. Not like it matters too much based on this hand, but... Oh! Oh! I think the game froze. I broke the game, guys! Ah! Alright, I'm gonna pause the recording and restart as fast as possible here. Alright, we're back. Hold on, opponent. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, sorry. Okay, there we go. Dude, the game's been freezing so much recently, and we've been losing a lot of opponents too, so like I just know that their game's freezing as well. I wonder what's been going on with that. I'm sorry about that, opponent. If you guys ever go up against me and you see red down here and you're like, hey, that's Red Cat, I know that guy. And like I'm just like gone, that's why. Okay. So we got no blocks. Nice. Okay, Fortified Beachhead, totally fine. Yeah, I still feel like I'm lagging a little bit. This is pretty brutal stuff, man. We got an absolutely brutal setup. Like that Dennick getting out of hand from red. They do end up chumping the Dennick and we go back up to 24. Brutal setup, man. Holy cow. If we would have seen something like this against that first mono red build too. Oh, even then, they were going really fast and they went first. So it would have still been a rough setup, but like especially like the Siege Veteran probably would have just been taken out. They dropped the oops. Uh-oh. What ended up happening there, I wonder? I'm just gonna full swing because even a block here is fine. Because like that 6-7 Dennick, like there's just no worries about that veteran. I wonder what the oops was for. Maybe they accidentally passed? Monstrous Rage. They do lose the other Wicked roll. So they still need to buff it just a little bit to get it over the Dennick. But it still looks like it's going to trade. If it's Play with Fire Prowess, yeah, it's still going to be a trade, luckily. And we do get a 1-1 from the veteran, and we're up to 29. So we are going to play a Plains because we have the... actually, yeah. Put that Dennick down in the air. Fortified Beachhead we'll have next turn as well for 5 and a tap, buff the soldiers. GG opponent, I apologize again for my game freezing. It gave us the Ajani again. Bro, I don't know why it's been freezing so much. You guys will have to let me know, has it been freezing for you too? But yeah, like recently, a lot of the opponents are just AFK as well, so... here, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna pause the recording again. Okay. I wanted to go ahead and restart MTG Arena again. Just like a full restart, like while we're out of the match, just in case. And hopefully that helps and makes it so that way we don't freeze again. Opponent goes first. This is a good hand, right? I don't like the double Protect the Negotiators, but it would be nice to showcase them doing a thing today. So let's keep it. Let's give it a shot, right? Like overall, I think we're doing relatively decent. Fortified Beachhead, reveal Recruitment Officer and get that down. We're going to go right into that Thalia next turn for sure. For sure. Up against Golgari. Although... Virtue, okay. Yeah, they're like, we better play this now before Thalia comes down. Actually, that's sorcery speed too, so that does make sense. Yeah, we should get Thalia down probably instead of like Protect the Negotiators. As much like, yeah, it taxes both of them, but it's just like one of those decks, man. That might be running like 3 to 4 go for the throats and stuff like that too. Cathar does pick that up nicely. Is that what we want to hit, or do we want to wait for Turtle or Shieldred or like anything like that? Because for the turn, we could just go Veteran Frontliner and just wait. That's probably pretty good. Although again, yeah, like if it is a turn 4 Shieldred, keeping that Protect the Negotiators open would be really good. But I think like this is more so a thing you want to do after you actually have a board state. You know what I mean? Virtue, take out that Thalia, hasten the turn back, because yeah, we do have some pretty good blocks there, don't we? It could be Frontliner for the turn. Gotta swing here. Frontliner for the turn, keep the Protect the Negotiators open. That's probably pretty good, huh? See if they accept... Ooh! I'm lagging! Send help, guys! Oh, that's a pretty good trade. Well... We'll still have 2 creatures down, so Protect the Negotiators is a make disappear for the turn, essentially. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Yeah, I don't mind that trade at all, dude. And if they blitz back the Tenacious Underdog for the turn, oh crap, the Dread Knight easily gets around the Protect the Negotiators. Crap, okay, alright, let's see, because it might be... Oh, they weren't playing it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, they were using the... They pass it back? No, the one time I hold open a counter spell. Okay, we could bring back Frontliner, still have Protect... Like, now I feel like I need to keep it open until it hits something. But boy, Siege Veteran's a good draw. Alright, let's see what we can get done here by keeping this Protect open again. I feel like it's going to be some kind of... I should have just buffed the... Okay, it's going to be go for the throat. Yeah, we'll definitely. That's worthwhile. Ow, my face. These pain lands, dude. We've been seeing a lot of the pain lands. Opponent's down to 12. Frontliner's gone. We have a decent hand, but now they get to play their big boppers since we had to protect the veteran. We didn't have to, but I feel like we should have for sure. Sack the Frontliner. Have a good swing into that Liliana unless they find removal for veteran. Yeah, they still have 2 cards in hand. Tempting to bring Frontliner back. That way we can make sure we get that swing off on the Liliana. But I think it's going to be Siege Veteran for the turn. And if they have removal, they want to remove the veteran before the Siege Veteran. A lot of veterans going about. Yeah, now that the Siege Veteran's on the board, if they remove the Valiant Veteran, beautiful, which gives us a swing into the Liliana. That worked out in our favor, I would say, overall. But we're in trouble, dude. The game has gone on much longer than we would have liked, so... Still have 3 mana open. Ooh, that's a good draw. Holy cow. Okay. Siege Veteran. Buff the Valiant Veteran. Swing on in. That's a really good draw. I can't imagine what the 3 mana would be outside of just more spot removal, which would be shocking at this point. That was a lot to deal with. They do end up blocking with the Dread Knight, which means they get to cast it for a draw. But, like, worth it, right? Holy cow, dude. Nissa comes down. Actually, Brutal Cathar takes care of that. We buff the Siege Veteran full swing at Nissa, or do we full swing at face? If we had more mana, we'd bring back the Frontliner, swing with that. That would be game, actually. If we had 1 more mana, we'd have the 10 to get through. At this point, since we don't have the 10, we probably have to... Nope, we're swinging face. Because if they go plus on Nissa again, we have the other Brutal Cathar. And, like, we know what... We can see everything they have there. Yeah, since we know we have the second Brutal Cathar, then that's perfect for us. Something really good for them would actually, yeah, powering up this Restless Cottage and swinging in, and then using the food to gain life would not be bad. The problem is, yeah, they don't know we have this. If we didn't have the second Brutal Cathar, guys, that swing would have been to the Nissa. GG, opponent. GG. Yeah. But since we knew we had removal for the token... Nice. I'd say overall, like, that just kind of really worked out, didn't it? 33 minutes in, guys. Let's go ahead and get 1 more game in, or 2 if they're really fast, I suppose, right? Very excited for the new set. No video tomorrow as I prepare for the early access event on the next day, and I'm going to do my dandiest to record as many videos as possible from that early access with all the new cards. So excited as usual. I don't know how they always, I don't know how they do it, man. Every new set just always looks so dang cool. You know what I mean? Okay, we go first. We'll give this a shot. No turn 1. I think we'd rather set up for the turn 2. Or I should say the guaranteed turn 2, because if we don't see an untapped source, then it would just be Recruitment Officer for a couple turns, rather than actually getting Thalia down on time. Which we want to do. Up against mono red, probably. Monastery Swift Spear. Well, it's not going to be a play with fire for the turn, but they do have a swing. Okay, so they wanted the counter on the Swift Spear. That makes sense, so they can, yeah, attack into the Thalia. So no blocks. Okay, second Thalia isn't bad. Commando's going to flip. Harbin in the air is decent. Harbin in the air blocks Phoenix Chick really well. We keep Thalia back to block on the ground. Like, the question here is, are we set up enough to be the aggressors this time round? I'm going to take the gamble and say yes. Try that Harbin. Even so, like, their lightning strikes cost 3 mana as long as this Thalia's down, so that should be good enough for now to slow them down. Swift Spear, or it could be a 2 mana play with fire too, right? Phoenix Chick, okay, at least we block in the air, but that's still a full swing from the opponent for sure. Maybe we take out this Swift Spear here, actually. With only 1 mana available, we take out that Swift Spear, right? Since their Thalia can't, since Thalia's making it so they can't do any crazy shenanigans with it. Okay, Brutal Cathar open, but I think we get another blocker down with the Officer. Down to 10, can we keep up pace? If they find removal for Officer, then we'd be in trouble after the swing. So for now, this might actually be the turn where we hold back. Especially since after the blocks we'll have Skystrike Officer's taps to draw. Well, as long as they don't remove something before. Okay, Phoenix Chick. These are a problem, dude. Since we're at 10, I wonder, is it going to be a full swing? They go for the concede. I'm a little shocked by that. I'm surprised they didn't want to play that out, but I mean, yeah, I guess at that point, if like it was just another mountain in hand or something, a full swing, we would have blocked 2 in the air, 1 on the ground, only 3 would have gotten through. Even then, we're still chilling at 10. So 7 damage isn't like a big deal for mono red. So I think it really does come down to what they had in hand there for the concede. If it was a mountain, I guess I can see it. But if it was like, you know, monstrous rage or something, like go on to that Swift Spear, and like that's a lot of extra damage, and then they just find like a lightning strike off the top. But yeah, if it was a mountain, I guess I totally understand. Guys, that was a fast one. One more. All the games have been really fast. Pretty fun time. Really like Soldiers. I've been enjoying Soldiers ever since they got good. No, there was like, if I remember correctly, there was like a time when they first started going on the rise where everyone was like, is Soldiers actually going to be good? And then like it just like over time it just got better and better and better, and now it just, yeah, it feels like peak meta, doesn't it? Or one of the meta builds, and it's still just such a fun build to run. It's such a good time, guys. It really is. Like just slamming creatures and everything's effective all the time. Every creature you play is like a threat. More mono red, all right. This could be mono red's revenge for sure. But we have Dennick in hand, so we might be able to showcase how powerful Dennick can be again against these aggressive builds. Wow. It's going to be Adversary as a 3/3 again. Just like that first match. Nice, Cathar's good. You know what? I will reveal that Dennick, and then I shall play that Dennick. We wanna get that down as soon as possible to block that Commando if we have to. Valiant Veteran wasn't the play for the turn, so. Holy cow! This is the first game. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Okay, take 7, down to 9. There's no great blocks, and we don't want to trade the Dennick away yet. Keep the Seat of the Empire. Seat of the Empire deals with Godric. Do we keep that open, or do we just go Valiant Veteran and have the Dennick as our blocker? And last time we swung with Dennick, right? So this time we can save Dennick as a blocker and see if that makes a difference. It could just be Cathar too, take the Godric. We still have a blocker there, take 3 there. All right, guys. We're just going to do the last match a little different than how we did the first match. We're going to keep it all back and hope that they don't have removal for the Dennick, because I'm pretty sure in that first game, I swung with the Dennick in fear that they'd find removal. Squee! Dude, this is awful, man. Godric gets in easily. So we have a block here. We have a trade here. And we take 1, 2, 3, 7. Is their last card a play with fire? Oh, we're going to gain 3 from Dennick. Okay. Okay, yeah, lifelink goes through before our death. Oh my goodness, is it going to be like a Monstrous Rage? Monstrous Rage onto Squee kills the Dennick. We'll still get that lifelink. Oh, they want to just plug it in the air. Gain 3, up to 2. We got to keep that Dennick around, guys. This is huge news. That is huge for us, man. Squee can't come back yet. Either way, Dennick says cards in graveyards can't be targets of spells and ability. Wait, that means they could still bring Squee back, right? I always get Dennick confused. Harbin blocks in the air. Just like if we keep seat and we just go Cathar, pick up the Godric, then we can start swinging. They have Mishra's Foundry is the problem. I guess we hold everything back again, huh? No, we have to swing because their top deck could be a Play with Fire or a Lightning. There's too much in their deck that they could see. If we play the Seat of the Empire and find a land off the top, then we can do 2 things next turn. Officer and Harbin. So we do want to play Seat. Good game, opponent. Dennick, the clutch, dude. Dennick with the clutch. Holy cow. Oh, man. That beautiful just showcase of why we have 3 Dennicks in here as well. Awesome. Awesome, awesome stuff. 42 minutes in, guys. Let's go over this deck one more time. Even though we had to pause the recording a couple times because of freezing. What a fun time, huh? Here's the deck list again. Simple soldiers for a reason. Kind of ends up playing itself. We did have some complex puzzles every now and then and wondering if like, oh, if we would have played it in this order, would it have worked out? And for the most part in those games, I feel like the answer was nah, probably not. Like we probably could have just played it in any order and it would have been a relatively the same outcomes, I would say. The 4 Thalias seems pretty important. And funny enough, only having 3 cards in here that it taxed, it felt like it taxed us a lot, didn't it? With the double Protect the Negotiators and the Elspeth Smite, I could totally see just dropping them. On going up a couple more Brutal Cathars, even though we do have a lot of 3-mana cards in here, guys, so that might ruin the curve a little bit. At the same time, having just a way... Actually, I really like Protect the Negotiators. So I guess I wouldn't drop it. Like, if you're going to be running a counterspell, then having it tacked onto an extra soldier just seems really good, right? And the problem is, yeah, it just ended up getting taxed by our Thalia a lot there. We did have that one counter that was essential where we countered it when they targeted our Valiant Veteran with their Go for the Throat. That was beautiful. Unfortunately, we didn't get to kick it. But if we did have that extra mana and we kicked it and you're getting the soldier while protecting your veteran and then that soldier gets the veteran buff too, that's wild. That's wild business. So I would keep the 2. I would. And then same concept with the Elspeth Smite. When I was going over the deck, I said your choice spot removal depending on what you're seeing. Now you saw how much mono red I ended up seeing, which is why I opted for the Elspeth Smite, easily taking care of a lot of different things in mono red quite effectively, and the exile really comes into play against cards like Squee and the Phoenix Chick as well. So that's why I opted for one of them. Did we actually get to use it against mono red today? Yes, we actually did. We got to pick up that 1 Monastery Swift Spear, right? So that was pretty good. Good stuff, man. Like the one of Myrel on the top wouldn't go up any, wouldn't go down any. We actually saw in that last game how it's just chilling in hand. There wasn't like really a good spot to actually play it. If you're up against more control style decks, then you're going to get into that mid to late game a lot more than you would ever want. So that's where Myrel would actually come in handy. But as a one of on the top end, totally fine. Wouldn't go up any, wouldn't go down. Really powerful card though. If you really enjoy this and you are seeing like more mid-range and control and you're getting to that mana more often, then 2 Myrels would totally be fine if that's really what you want. At that point, I don't know what you would drop. I feel like all 4 Siege Veterans and all 4 Skystrike Officers were pretty essential as our 3 drops, right? The Brutal Cathar really does come in handy often, but I don't know if we want more than 2, especially with all the removal we're seeing anyways, where how often is Cathar going to come down and immediately get removed anyways? Like the 2 of was fine, right? Like it came in handy when it came in handy, and like outside of that, we weren't like sweating like, oh, if only we saw a Brutal Cathar off the top. Like we didn't really have any of those moments, but I mean, the Cathar is kind of up to you, and it also depends like what you have too, right? Because this is like a lot of 3-drop rares. So maybe you only have 3 veterans, for example, then that 3rd Cathar could totally take that place easily, like without any worries. There's just a lot of different configurations you can successfully put soldiers together. And same concept, dude. If you only had like 2 Skystrike Officers and you don't want to craft them, but you happen to have all 4 Cathars, that's totally fine, man. Even though the Skystrike Officer being able to block in the air is super important, being able to go wide with it super important, it's just like, it's just not going to really... It's not going to hold you up too often if you have 4 Cathars instead. So some stuff that I felt like were pretty essential was like the Dennick, right? How often was this the MVP in those matches? The lifelink goes way too far when you're buffing it with soldiers like Valiant Veteran and the Siege Veteran, putting counters onto it too. Just disgusting stuff, man. Dennick's a menace, as I said before. Just really good in a bunch of different builds, it feels like. So whenever you have white and blue in the same deck, Dennick is worth the consideration. Loved our 1-drops, obviously. Like, there's not too much to say. Like, everything was just fine. You know what, though? I could see dropping some of the wastes. I don't know if the Painland was super important here. So dropping like 1 or 2 of these and going up some basics might be fine. Maybe not. It is pretty greedy with these Azorius colors and the 2-drops. Like, you always want to hit these, right? Outside of that, like, the wastes, it's not like it came down to killing us or anything with the 1 damage. Yeah, the 4 is probably fine, but I could also see dropping some of these too. And yeah, like, the way you configure soldiers, honestly, it could... could be however you want it to be, and it's still probably going to be pretty fine. Just like the essential picks for the build would be like Thalia, Valiant Veteran, and in this case, for today's matches, Dennick as well was pretty essential. And our 1-drops too. Everything else can probably be configured however you want it. Something else as well, you could totally run 3 Thalias, although Thalia really comes in handy all the time, and it's really nice to have out there, and when the opponent finally spends 3 mana to remove it, just play like the second one, and it's so mean. It really is. But yeah, I could also see like 3 Thalias and going up like another Elspeth Smite or another piece of removal or something. So, all right, guys. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I hope you're excited for Lost Caverns as much as I am, right? It's called Lost Caverns of Ixalan, right? I don't remember right now. Either way, I hope you're as excited as I am. The set looks sweet. Like I said, no video tomorrow. I'm going to be preparing for that early access event, and I'm going to be recording as much as possible from that event. So, guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.